This is Practical Tips for Pup Clips, where my goal is to help you get better at grooming or get serious about grooming your own dog in practical ways. Because if I can do this, anyone can. Today, you're going to watch a simple bath. This bath's actually going to be really time consuming and a lot of work. But that's exactly why this owner has stuck with me for over 10 years now. So get ready to see a professional deshedding. I use enzymatic toothpaste for teeth brushing. It's super simple. You don't have to do much scrubbing. It's just getting it on the teeth is really all you have to do. The bath portion of this groom is the most important part. I'm going to get a lot of hair out with the dryer and brushing too, but the majority of the hair I get out today will just be in the bath. All it takes is a good shampoo, conditioner, and scrub down, as you'll see. My go-to shampoo is Lavenderm for most dogs. It's a nature specialty brand. I just love their shampoos. They've got so many options and they have always delivered quality results. I love the Lavenderm in particular because it's the strongest smelling one I've ever found and it lasts longer than any other shampoo I've ever found. So that's really it for me. I just think it's a great, fresh, clean scent and I do enjoy lavender. But if you don't like lavender, it might not be for you. So just keep that in mind when you're choosing a shampoo. This one happens to be kind of expensive also. So if you don't like lavender, just skip this one. And let me know in the comments if you have a favorite shampoo that you use that's good for the skin, high quality, and smells amazing. I'd love to know. Use as much shampoo as necessary to get a good lather on a dog that has a thick double-coated coat like this. You really want to get it all lathered up. Yes, we groomers even scrub that end too. Believe it or not, the hindquarters are actually one of the heaviest shedding spots on the whole dog, so make sure you do a good job on that rear end. Here I'm showing you what parts of the dog need scrubbed. So we've got the neck, down the spine, the shoulders, chest, sides, and the hindquarters. So basically the whole dog sheds really, really heavily. As I'm scrubbing, I'm breaking up all that thick undercoat that's stuck together and helping to work it free. You'll see my gloves get completely covered in his undercoat as the bath goes on. I need the thick undercoat broken up and totally clean before I can move on to the conditioner.
Picking up the pieces of a broken heart, guess I was chosen. Stitch it back together, better late than never, steady motion. Can't control my fate, but I control all these emotions. I'm not broken, I'm not broken. Already cried my tears enough for an ocean. I've been in the cold rain on my parade. I'm still on my feet, stand tall like a mountain. I am undefeated, made for the game. Take his arms around my legs and try to pull me. I'll still levitate. The greatest gift I got is being this holy. One thing I learned, pain hurts but don't control me. I'm not broken, I'm not broken. Already cried my tears enough for an ocean. I've been in the cold rain on my parade. I'm still on my feet, stand tall like a mountain. I am undefeated, made for the game. I'm still on my feet, stand tall like a mountain. I am undefeated, made for the game. Already cried my tears enough for an ocean. I've been in the cold rain on my parade. I'm still on my feet, stand tall like a mountain. I am undefeated, made for the game.
And it's finally time to rinse the shampoo so I can move on to conditioning.
Started as a whisper, message from a new world I'd never known. Something about it felt like it'd been waiting my whole life. Is this home? I can hear
The conditioner is just as important, if not even more, than the shampoo. It's really important to get it spread throughout a coat like this to get all that undercoat out.
I can hear it, oh, I can't stop the rush. Every note I touch, I can feel it saving me. Hold me, can you hear the symphony?
Rinsing will always take a good amount of time after using conditioner like this, but make sure you rinse really thoroughly or else your dog could end up with a skin issue. Plus, nothing is more time consuming than having to go back from the dryer, back to the bath to wash a soapy spot that you missed. So while you watch me rinse here for a little while, I'm going to let you know that part of being practical is building a relationship with your client. And by client, I mean both the dog and their owner. But especially the dog, of course, because we're going to spend a lot more time with the dog than we are with the owner. We want this relationship to be peaceful. So as I said before, Rummy and I go way back. I've been working on him for over a decade now. Yes, he is getting to be an old boy. Yes, I have commanded him to stop aging, so I'll hopefully have him for many more years as long as he listens. I've seen 20-year-old dogs and more. I mean, you can do it, Rummy. Way back when I first started working on Rummy, my husband and I had a dog named Red who actually looked exactly like him, and he had the same coat type and everything. So I understood how to get Rummy deshedded really well because I already had a dog with this thick coat, and I understood pretty well how to get him well groomed because I learned really quick that if you didn't get him bathed and dried really well, he'd end up shedding even worse than before you had bathed him. It's funny because I've actually groomed Rummy longer than I had my dog Red. Rummy was with me back at my first job in corporate, followed me to a private shop, and now has followed me here where I groom from home. It's just been awesome to have such a good boy all these years. there you have it, a clean Rummy. The pile of hair I got off of him is about the size of his head. So now it's time to head to the dryer while I'll get even more hair off. Rummy's one of those really special boys that can't stand to have a happy hoodie on. He will just take it off. So I do go ahead and start out with putting cotton balls in his ears for the dryer. Those are already in there. It just helps dampen the noise when they won't keep a happy hoodie on. You can do that anytime. I highly recommend it. I am still going to try to put a happy hoodie on just because I always do, but you'll see he's messing with it so much that I just go ahead and take it off him. I don't want him to scratch himself somehow. My goal for drying a shedding dog like this is to get them 100% dry. I'm gonna get them to what I think is 100% dry, and then switch back and forth between drying and brushing if I find any wet spots. Wet spots amount to open portals of non-stop shedding hair, so making sure a dog like this goes out 110% dry is so key. I'm mostly using a Furminator brush for this guy's thick undercoat. It is a blade, so you have to be really careful and make sure you don't scrape the skin with it. Take the time to pause while you're brushing every so often and just use your fingers to brush that hair backwards and peek at the skin to make sure it's not getting red. This type of deshedding brush you can find anywhere online. You can find Furminators. They are pretty pricey, so a more practical version I would say would be just a knockoff brand. Just look for any deshedding bladed tool. I would never use that kind of brush though on like a boxer or any sort of thin coated dog. You're really only using it on a thick coat to get that thick undercoat out. So a husky, a lab, those are good candidates for this brush. Look at all that hair. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that the brush is where you're going to get all your dog's coat out. But really the bath is the number one place I get most of the hair out. And then following up with a good force dryer, blow dry, is really key. Those two things right there, the bath and the blow dry, are what get most of a shedding dog's hair out. The brush follows up and gets the last little bit. So now that I'm done with the Furminator brush, I'm switching over to the Zoom Groom. It's a rubber curry brush, and that is one I do recommend getting the name brand of. I've tried other types, and none of them just do as good a job as the Zoom Groom does. This is one I'd recommend for boxers and thinner coated dogs. Before I start dremeling the nails, I'm going to take off any length that I can first with my nail trimmers. I've used the Miller's Forge orange nail trimmers on all types of dogs, big and small, for 15 years now, and they never fail me. We're going to smooth over the rough edges with the Dremel tool after I'm done clipping off the length. The nice thing about using a Dremel is you don't have to go all the way down with the nail trimmers. You can just tip the ends and then follow up with a Dremel and get that little last bit of length off. I always feel over each nail to make sure I didn't leave any jagged edges. For a closer look at how to do nails, I'll have another video specifically for that. Rummy doesn't give me any problems at all for anything though, bless him. So a simple hold like this is all I really need for him. I got a little close to his quick on one nail. It wasn't bleeding or even really quicked. But if I ever get a nail where I'm iffy on it, like maybe if he scratches it on the concrete later it could open up, I'll still put a little bit of styptic powder on it just to be safe. Even experienced groomers do quick nails from time to time, so always keep a tub of styptic powder or some cornstarch handy just to be on the safe side. Quicking a nail or clipping a nail too close can be pretty nerve-wracking, but maintain control. Know that it's not much different than cutting your own fingernail back a bit too short. It stings a little bit, but you'll be over it fast enough. A lot of people panic after they cut a nail a little bit too close. They see blood, it scares them, they scare their dog, and the whole thing becomes a catastrophe, and they never want to do their dog's nails again. But if you're going to do your dog's nails yourself, you have to know these things can happen, and as long as you're ready for it, things can go a lot smoother. You can recover from it. Accidents happen, but it's not the end of the world. You can do this. And in fact, you have to do this for your dog's sake. And if you can't do it yourself, that's what groomers are for. So I'm going to finish up here with an ear cleaning. And I just use some pre-moistened medicated ear wipes. And we have a clean Rummy. Look how handsome he is. Oh my goodness. I can rub him and we're not getting all that hair pouring out. Woo! This boy is ready to go home.